kind of. Maybe we should do. Boys and girls. Uh, Tonight, I know it's going to be fun. But who knows where this is going to go? Because look who we have tonight. It's been a minute. Stirring the pot, Don Kincaid, and my very special guest, the one and only Izzy Star. What's up, my man?
Hey, yo, universe, what's going on, my brother? Wait, before you start, my man, we have to savor this moment, okay? Because we don't want any bad energy following us throughout the interview. So hold on, let me just burn this incense real quick. All right. Let me just make sure that all the bad energy is not far away from this universe and on universe B or C, just for a little bit. And they can hit us with anything you want. But right now, we need this moment. So that's the bad energy just leaving right there. There it goes. Okay, now we can go, my man.
Wow, that's the very first Zen moment I've ever had on Stirring the Pot. I appreciate that, my friend.
Good, man. See, now we're on the same level.
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling fine.
You should.
Yes.
You should.
That was beautiful, and especially after a work day, because this is a Tuesday evening. Wait, we are on Tuesday, right? Raw was last night. Yes, today is Tuesday.
Dude, I don't even know what year it is. So yes, whatever you say, yes, that's what today is.
Today is a fine Tuesday evening. My man will be partaking throughout our conversation, I am sure.
Oh, yes.
And this should be very interesting. And I know this is a funny-ass way of starting this interview, but there's a little happening. I'm from Connecticut. If I'm not mistaken, you're from Rhode Island, correct?
Massachusetts, my man, the big M.A. I'm in the motherland, the mother ma land. M.A., Massachusetts.
Man, you've been good, because where I'm going with this, CT today, the old bill was signed, and July 1, it's party time, I guess, in CT, because as Massachusetts, it's been party time in Massachusetts, and the old bill was just signed today.
Sure was.
I'm sure you're digging that, right?
Man, I've been digging it since junior year of high school, which was 11 years ago. Yeah, I've been digging it for a while, my man.
I've been digging. Oh, my man. Izzy. Oh, I think I'm just gonna do that. Izzy, we've seen each other many a time up at the Rhode Island area, up at the Chop Shop. That's where I kind of met you, seen you present your package, your character, what you bring to the table, your vibe, if you will.
Yeah.
I will say something. Tons of fun, my man. I dig the character. I like what you present to us as a fan, because I know we're in there punching each other in the face, and we're kicking each other, in the back, and we're elbowing each other, and on the sides of the head and stuff like that. I know there's a lot of that going on, but you, my friend, you're one of those guys that he just likes to chill, keep it all cool, but really mix it up at the same time. And I don't know if you've noticed, and I apologize, I don't have a one and only Izzy Star shirt. I apologize for that.
But you're gonna change that real soon.
Yeah, I feel the next best thing is a Hippie Dicky Moon shirt. I felt that was very presentable, if you will.
Dude, I'm digging on that shirt so much. I'll tell you why. Because, funny enough, as the cosmic universe is always be shifting and always forever changing into something more positive, dig this for 1 second. Dickie Moon, Izzy Star have never met in this universe. We've never met each other. I've seen his work. I've seen him work. He's magnificent, man. See, there's a reason why there's not many hippies in wrestling. You see, so for all of us wrestling, whether you be hippie, whether you be the big man, whether you be the big woman, whatever you want to be, right? That's wrestling is life to us. Wrestling is our essence. It's our life. You understand what I mean? So for us to want to do this, to always want to be we make it so in life you don't want to take it too seriously. You don't want to be so negative, so determined to be negative. People like Dickie Moon, people like myself, we show you that even in wrestling, even in life, you can just be. There's hope. We give people hope.
I'm picking up what you're putting down, my man, if you will. And out of what you just said, you came up. I like to title each episode differently to give it its own flavor, if you will. So this episode, you've already said it. Wrestling is our life, our essence. That's going to be the title of this. I think that's a beautiful, beautiful title for one Izzy Star.
Take it, man. See?
Yeah. Now, Mr. Izzy Star, not only have we've seen each other at the events, and we're gonna double back to that because I go all over the place. I have no clue where I'm going. I have nothing written down.
I'm ready to go. Just point me in the direction, brother. We're gonna get there.
I want to get something a little more recent, and man, what a hell of a time that was. Now, we starting the pot crossed 6,000 subscribers on the YouTube channel, which I was like, dude, talk about mind altering, just blown away. The numbers, I don't even know how it's happening, but the love that I give to the peep, I'm feeling it, man. I'm telling you, because those subscribers, and we just crossed 8,000 now, but back at 6,000, yourself, Ryan Frost, Stevie Legend, and I feel like I'm forgetting somebody. Vanna White. But there was also I'm feeling like I'm missing somebody.
Who was there?
There was Stevie Legend.
Yep.
There was the one and only Izzy Star.
That's me, yo.
There was Ryan Frost.
Mm-hmm.
I like to call him Salty Frost sometimes.
Salty Frost.
Salty Frost. Okay, that's a different thing. Then there was our gracious host, one Stephen Baker. Alex Trebek, as you were calling him. I gave you a hard time. Gave you a hard time.
Yeah, you know, he's got some issues sometimes, you know.
We had the Vanna White, Princess Death Wish.
Yeah.
But I feel like I'm forgetting somebody. Am I forgetting somebody?
I don't know. See now, I don't know if it's because of me or it's because of the weed, but like now there might have been somebody else, but maybe there wasn't somebody else at the same time. So like, I really don't know.
Okay. Wow. That's weird. I thought usually I'm good about that stuff, especially being on my own show.
You're getting a contact high right now. That's what this is going on. I'm fogging up your mind right now. That's what's going on.
But we have digressed a little bit with the characters that we spoke of. My friend, tell me that Mr. Baker, behind all of that, mind you, that had nothing to do with me. Mr. Baker, that was his whole brainstorm. He was the brainchild behind all of that. Yep. Was that not some of the most fun you've ever had outside of the ring? I mean, for real.
I've never been on a game show, but but I got the feeling like I actually was on a game show. Like I had a lot of fun with that. That was so cool.
I cannot believe
he's definitely got to do it again. Like, oh man. There's so many because I'm sorry. Now you opened up a can right now. So like, so he did it very Jeopardy style, but then like he kept changing it up. I can only imagine like the next one should be like an obstacle course or like some kind of like in-person thing where like, you know, we're playing horse but with wrestling moves, you know?
Oh wow.
Something like that.
Oh wow. Wow.
That'd be cool, right?
That's quite innovative.
Just like, oh, hip toss. Okay, hip toss. Oh, arm drag. Oh, arm drag. All right. And then like if you can't do it, boom, you're out. You get your letter. We'll call it chop. We'll call it chop. And then when they spell chop, when they leave, they get eliminated. They get chopped by everybody.
Oh wow! Another layer. another
Yeah,
layer to the
yeah,
game.
that's the game.
Um, so, just per se, hypothetically, uh, do you know who Ichiban is by any
Yeah,
chance? Okay.
yeah.
Say Ichiban is part of the game, okay?
Okay.
And he does a 450 splash. All right. Now it's time for the one and only Izzy Star to follow suit. Does Izzy Star pull off a 450 splash, or does he look at Ichiban and be like, nah, my dude, nah?
What I do is I do I do a moonsault, just one moonsault, and then when I get up after I hit, I hand him the difference of my rotation that's written down on a piece of paper, and that's my
Okay.
450 splash. Because I'm not doing a 450 splash. I'll do a 420 splash.
Oh,
Yeah,
that sounds a little more fun, actually.
just a sky high body splash, my man. It's the 420 splash.
Wow, that actually sounds a lot. Not a lot of fun for your opponent, if you will. It sounds fun for you.
Well, you got this belly, you have to use it. You know what I mean?
But that game show, very creative, tons of fun, a lot of personality, and that's something that I'll never forget because holy cow, the mastermind again, Mr. Baker, just went into so many little details that totally made that entire experience so much
Right.
fun. And not only that, like you've already stated, he was changing the rules on the fly, and you kind of became some of that, if you will, victim of such rule
Uh,
changing.
you know, Bakey has some good days and bad days. But he just needs a big hug sometimes. And I couldn't do it, so I verbally hugged him. That's what I did.
Now, Mr. Starr, we've kind of chit chatted, kind of goofed off a little bit at the beginning of this. But I'd really like to be able to have the fans get to know the talent that we speak to on Stirring the Pot. So kind of let's jump into more of that instead of the chicanery, if you will. But I know there's going to be more chicanery involved in this. So again, I don't write nothing down, so we just kind of conversate like a couple bros hanging out, and I don't really have anything to smoke, but a couple bros hanging out smoking in the living room and
Hey,
getting to know one Izzy Star, you know?
I'll smoke enough for the both of us. It's okay.
Oh, I'm sure you will and do. Now, the whole aura, I don't want to go back like from the very beginning, if you will, because we'll kind of, again, I jump around a lot. The whole aura of Izzy Star, it was again that smooth, hey man, cool feel. You got the glasses, you've got the look, you've got the music, same thing. And I want to compare you because this is the only hippie I've known in wrestling until I met one Izzy Star. So I felt you yourself and Dickie Moon had kind of the same kind of thing, but very different at the same time, which I congratulate you both on kind of doing, again, the same hippie movement in wrestling, but totally different, if you will. And I applaud you on it. You have each your own look, your own style about what you've got going on. I latched onto you more than my old man. My old man, he's really not the gimmicky, the gimmicky kind
Yeah,
of guy.
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
I latched onto the character, had a lot of fun with it. So what brings this? Because I'm going to go here. The name, the one and only Izzy Star. I'm sure that's not on your birth certificate. We don't, we don't know. We don't have to know your real name. But what brings this whole aura? Is it an extension of your real self, or is it a character or a gimmick, if you will, that was started from scratch? Because this question, I've got a lot of curiosity on this.
That's fair, man. See, it's not really an aura. It's more like more personified than that. It's not only an extension of me. It's really more me than gimmick. I'd say like by this point it's like 80-20.
Okay.
And I find myself connecting in certain ways. That's why with the look, with the music, everything has a place and everything fits a layer. So on each sense that you feel, I'm appealing on each sense. Because some people can have not so great music, but they look amazing. They can have really good music or they look terrible. You know, I feel like I want to hit on every single cylinder of you. You know, so from the hey yo music blasting out, that shows my energy. You're expecting something like a bullet coming out, and then here comes this bigger guy who has tie-dye pants on, who has tassels, who has a tambourine, who has a leather fringe vest, who's just floating on air, basically. You know, now I'm visually appealing. You know, some people may differ on the whole, am I appealing to the sense of smell? That's a point of opinion. It's not really. Some people dig the smell of patchouli, some don't. That's the world, you know. It's yin and yang. That's how it works.
I'm on the yang, I guess. I'm not
Yeah,
sure, but yeah,
it's
I'm sorry.
no, it's fine, man. It's all good. I didn't invent patchouli. It's totally fine. Uh, but I just wanna appeal on all those levels. So that's why I do things that are a little more unconventional. Uh, Really, I use the parts of the ring that people don't use or utilize as much because of my size. You know, I can't really do. I could, but I don't really do more springboard action stuff, more high fly wrist stuff. Like I'll go second rope on occasion, but I like to mix things up to keep people like, you know. But I utilize the corner. I utilize all the long way of the ring from post to post. I use the outside of the post. I use the entirety of the ring, where most people focus on one physical aspect of it. So I tried to bring something different. And as far as that, hence is all to being the one and only,
Okay.
because there is no other Izzy Star. There is there is absolutely not one person like me. And a lot of people can, be like, oh well, it's he's working the gimmick really well, but come talk to me outside of this. I'm the same dude, but maybe a little more sweaty because if it's after a show. But other than that, it's like, I'm still the same dude on every plane. So what you see is what you get with me, Uh and simple. Like Izzy Star is Izzy Star because everybody needs something, because I need everyone.
I almost might change the title of the episode to I'm still the same guy, just a little more sweaty. I like that one too. That's a pretty good line right there.
I'm gonna have a whole notepad by the end of this of all these titles he's gonna have.
I dig what you bring to the table again, as I kind of started off at the top, because, um, like you said, there's a lot of serious that's brought to the table of wrestling, and let's not take away, Izzy. They all take it serious,
Right.
the sport, the craftsmanship of wrestling. But you're not being this Wardlow kind of guy.
Yeah.
He's all jacked. He's all mean. He's snarling from the nose. And, he's going to eat you for supper and all of this stuff, not the big over the crazy top,
Right.
serious part of wrestling, You've got that cool, chill vibe. You get all of the fans. Well, not my dad expects. But you get most of the fans together.
I will. That's my
You get most of
2021 resolution.
You get the fans behind you. The music is fun. You come out, you're a lot of fun. You get that vibe going. And I've dug it from the beginning. And I think that's what's latched me on to your character, which leads me into my next thing. And I've asked this to everybody because not everybody has the same answer, obviously, but they answer it in their own way. Connecting with the fans is not always the easiest thing to do. Now, could you maybe figure a time frame in your career when you were like, there was a moment or a match where you're like, I'm finally connected with the fans. I can hear what they're giving me, and I'm going to feed off of that. And we're going to do what I feel is a dance between the fan and wrestler, which is very a big necessity. Do you feel there was a point in your career where you figured out where, man, I'm actually connecting?
That is so funny because I know exactly when. I know that
Really?
exact. I do, because it was that moment. It was the one where everyone was on one level. You know how sometimes when you're watching, you know, bigger wrestling companies like shows and stuff. I don't want to say names and get you in trouble. Um, when they do
Uncle Vince will get me.
when they do their commercials to promote whatever pay-per-view is going to come up next or whatever, they have those moments where like they've edited the video where like the person is celebrating and there's like fire behind them and like everything is like slow motion. There is a match that happened. um I can't remember the year, um but it was Thanksgiving Throwdown for RWA. We were at the East Greenwich Armory. I believe that was the year that Judge Chambers won. Um, but I was first. I was number one, and I lasted till number 27. So I
Wow.
got until I got eliminated by T Phoenix. Uh, but I was number one, so I opened up the Rumble. So at the time, it was supposed to be Jason Devine was actually supposed to go first. Uh, something had happened. I think he like his shoelace broke or something, so he needed to like get tape. So we needed to get time. So I was like, I'll go first. It's not a big deal. Like, okay, we'll put you first. Um, so I'm ready to go. I'm behind the curtain. My music hits, and I hear. I don't know if it was the echo or the natural, just the acoustics in the arena, but it just felt like that one moment. As soon as my music hit, I got that shock gasp, like, yeah, like, all right, he's starting it off. And I hit the ring. I did the whole 360 around the ring. That's the first time I did the whole 360 around the ring, that I got into the ring and I did the 4 hey yos on each side. That was the very
Yes.
first time. That was the very first time I did that. And those moments when I was reaching over and I said those hey yos and I see everyone just up with me, just for that moment, I was happy. I could have got eliminated 10 seconds right after that and been extremely happy. But that was the moment where we became one, where I was accepted by this wrestling universe, you know? That was the day. I will
Uh,
try to I know it's on YouTube so you can get the date, but I know exactly where and who won for sure.
okay. I follow RWA. I'll go and check back because now I'm interested because to me, as a fan that goes to more indie than the WWE or AEW, I really haven't gone to a big show in a long, long,
Right.
long, long time.
Right.
Um, that almost seems like your WrestleMania moment to a
Yep.
degree,
Yep.
a smidge, you know?
I remember when I got into Rhode Island to start wrestling. I was with some other companies who aren't around anymore, but when I first got to Rhode Island, uh, RWA was like the place I wanted to go. My like that was my mecca that I wanted to reach there, you know. And I've done some work in other places who have bigger talent and stuff like that too. But there's something about RWA to me that I hold on to very, 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 very closely. So to get onto that bill, to not do very much in the beginning and then to get that slot, it wasn't just, it was a universal bonding of the fans to me to the fans, RWA to me to RWA. Everything just clicked. And that's like my home now that I can't walk away from.
Do
So
you
I
feel
hold
if
that.
you were Oh no, and I love RWA, and I've seen a bunch of the product. I've gone to 2 shows, if I'm not mistaken. One was a Legacy, maybe 2018, and crap, I can't remember the other one. I'm sorry, my data bank's a little hazy, if you will. No, I love everything you said there, but as you're speaking, I'm thinking, if you were number 2, do you think that same feel, that same vibe, the whole alignment between yourself and the arena would have happened?
No, because my opponent would have been before me. and then now I can't steal his energy, you know?
Hmm.
I have to get my own. So we're sharing the universe in that moment. But to have the ring to myself for about a minute from curtain to next music, about a minute, minute and a half maybe, that was, I could have died that night and that would have been the best moment of my life right there in the wrestling world, you know?
Mm.
And those are those small moments that people forget or they never
Yes.
forget, you know?
Right. Hmm. And these are the memories that we speak of, though. I talk about the fans, like myself and my dad. We take these drives to the shows. You still got to drive back home. What do you talk about when you're excited from leaving the event? That's what you're jawing about all the way home.
Right.
You're talking about this moment or that moment and such, or this talent made an entrance because this talent couldn't make it, and then all of a sudden this guy came in or girl came in.
Right.
So there's a lot to talk about as long as you've had you know, a decent event to speak on.
Right.
And these memories that we take with us, you guys and girls do the same kind of stuff, but on the other side of it. And I find that absolutely amazing.
Thank you. It's just connecting, you know? You're literally living in that moment and you're feeling that moment. It's crazy. Like your whole body tingles. It's like you're being microwaved. It's crazy.
It's why you've been microwaved.
Well, that's maybe another story for another day.
Okay, hey, maybe that could be part two, because
Part
I would
two.
love a return down the road. I'd love to reconnect with the stars that we've spoken with,
Dig
you
it,
know?
man. Hey, now you got
Uh,
my number. Now you got my hookup. You know, you can call me more than when you need more weed. You know, it's real simple.
I'm sorry for that. I really am. We do got to hang out. Um, Uh, so that's going to probably start our next stirring the pot if that happens. How was it being microwaved? We've got to start that whole episode right there. First question, hands down. I don't even think we're going to do an intro. Not at all. It's just going to be how
Just
did you
pick it
get
up right
microwaved?
there.
But you know these tingles you speak of. Even when I mean, obviously at the event, I really get these crazy. Uh, I don't even know what the hell to call them, man. But they're these like inner body, like cool things that happen, and I get these goosebumps that just roll all over, and I'm like, man, that was so much damn fun, you
Yes.
know. Or I was so proud for that talent that I just watched either have a great performance, win a new title, get over on somebody that's been beaten on them for a course in the storyline.
Right.
And those moments, and you know, and as I do these interviews and talk about different parts of wrestling and different stories, I get the goosebumps still every just talking to the talent. And I'll give you an example. Jay Bougie, he's a newer talent out of New Jersey. I want to make sure, hopefully I'm correct, or he's going to come hunt me down.
He's from
Um,
around.
yeah, somewhere around there. And I got the chills, and I literally mean within our conversation, I probably got the chills like 4 different times, and he spoke about it on the book like I got some kind of issue. I think, or some kind of not issue, a disease or like medical problem. I think he was kind of pointing at.
Huh.
I don't really think so. You know what it is, my man? It's wrestling. Wrestling, I dig it in that fashion. When I go to the shows, we like to have fun. I don't yell vulgar crap at the talent because, I mean, why? You want to do that at your sports events
Right.
and pay a big money ticket just to piss on the talent that you're watching out in the field or whatever?
Right.
That's your choice. That's not me, man. So we like to have fun. And I just feel the vibe of wrestling, and that's what I get from it. Like you're talking about the tingles, I feel that, my man. I totally am picking up what you're putting down.
That's everyone just all their molecules are just vibrating at once and then boom, interlock. You're feeling that energy. You're literally feeling the energy of people. It's crazy. It's
And
like
it's a beautiful.
that's why people do it for so long, even even if they shouldn't, but not even like talent, like can't do it, like even just health reasons why,
Right.
but like that's why they still do it because it's indescribable.
And you see that from a lot of the older talent as they make their career longer and longer and longer. They get to a point, and like you said, either their body can't handle it, or maybe their mind has kind of gone in a different direction, or
Right.
the ticker is always a big factor, all depending on how you've carried yourself over the years.
Right.
So I mean, we do see some of the talent really
Yeah.
stretch it out just a little bit, too much sometimes.
Yeah.
But I definitely agree with you. But I applaud the talent that really know, as Kenny Rogers would say, know when to hold them and when to fold them. Because why not go out on your own time? Why not go out the way you want to look physically, mentally?
Right.
I say going out on your own terms is fantastic, especially in something like wrestling. And I mean, there's
Right.
other aspects of sports and stuff that could apply to. But I feel, right, in wrestling specifically, man, those older guys I see trying to do it sometimes. What are you doing, my man?
It's just the best way I can describe it to somebody who doesn't work is, you know, that feeling you get when you're hit with something unexpectedly in wrestling, like you hear a music of somebody you haven't seen in, you know, years, or like in a rumble kind of situation, the countdown, the buzzer, that anticipation of who's next, right? Then that song hits of a person you haven't seen. That then that feeling that comes over you as a fan, that's our feeling when we come back to you. That's describing that feeling, so you can know what that feels like because you've had those experiences.
I have more than once, and the way, I was speaking of the older talent. Why would you keep going? But that kind of piggybacked on what you said previous of the passion
Right.
of wrestling.
It's indescribable, man. It's better than any kind of weed or anything, man. Any kind of edible, any kind of gummy. It's like it's euphoric. You know, everything about wrestling, the good or the bad, euphoric.
Notice, boys and girls, and I don't know if he's a father or not. I don't know
Nope.
that much.
Nope.
But notice it was more of, there's nothing better. No gummy, no edible, no weed, no weed.
Nope.
It is better than that. But there wasn't like, no human life. No, there was many other things to pick from. But my man is very focused, tunnel vision.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Because that's different stages of life, different stages of elevation.
No, I am not busting your balls by any stretch, my man. Now you find yourself in Massachusetts. That's where you reside. But
Yep.
I've seen you in Rhode Island more. I think that's the only place I've actually really seen you perform. What's with the correlation there?
So a lot around here in Massachusetts, there are people who this is what they want to do. They want to try their hardest to keep moving up, bigger places. There's plenty of great promotions around here and stuff. But like I said earlier, when I was accepted by RWA, that's my base now. That's my like home front. If it was like a gang kind of thing of like Massachusetts wrestling companies and Rhode Island wrestling companies, and there was like a turf war, like I'd totally be on the RI side, like it sucks, but like I'm telling you, like that's my home. That's why it's simple.
I've seen and I've talked to many a talent via the Chop Shop or XWA Event Center out in West Warwick.
Yeah.
Many a talent on the show, and there's one thing, they say the brothers and the sisters and all of that, and behind the curtain, it's like a family, and it's reiterated
Right.
from, from promotion to promotion, from area to area. And I've heard it multiple times, but visually, as a fan, and I don't go in the back, the locker room in many a promotion, but I have had the honor and the privilege of being in said locker room of some promotions. But just as a fan, over the course of the last 4 or 5 years, and getting to know, I guess, and I don't believe me, I don't, I don't think I know anything about wrestling as much as people like fans say they know wrestling. No, you don't. And I from again from a distance. I don't mean to be stubborn. I'm just trying to put this in a good perspective here.
Okay.
Because I don't like to. I'm neutral. I'm neutral
Okay.
guy. Um, I don't like to piss on people because that's not what we do here. We like to lift up our talent, lift up promotions and such.
Right.
But what I found though is just get behind the talent, but looking from a distance. You guys up at the chop shop.
Yep.
I'm telling you, that really seems to me has been a very legit family orientated setup, vibe, ambiance, however you want to see it. Even if you have other people that are not from that area that I've seen
Right.
At the chop shop, you guys and girls, I've never really seen again from a distance or the media's. Not a lot of that political bullshit, not a lot of the drama bullshit. You guys really love each other over there.
Right.
So, and I know this has been a very long-winded get to, but the chop shop, I was sad to see go. And
Yeah.
I know it's just a building and the promotions will move on and carry, that vibe with them because that's what makes the vibe
Right.
is the promotions. The fans, the building, and that setup over there. Could you please talk to us about it? What makes it special? And where does all of this go from here? Because I just want to slip in another part to that question.
Okay.
There was a promotion, MAW, Mass Anarchy Wrestling, that I've seen you perform at quite a bit.
Yeah.
And along with RWA, something happened and somebody came in and things were going to change, if you will.
Yeah.
So talk to us about the special ambiance about the chop shop, the people behind it, your brothers and sisters, and lead us into what happened with MAW and what was behind the changing because it never came to head, if you will.
Okay. Simple. All right. Tackle it one at a time. So, let's see. Things about the chop shop. Well, for one thing, there's parking everywhere. I've been to a lot of local shows growing up. I used to go to the VFWs around here, the ones in Fairhaven, stuff to see top row and top rope at the time. To do a lot of shows over there, stuff like that, or the feast and stuff like that, or the Wayland City Festival. And parking was always tough, but we had a big giant lot that was great. Um, the other beauty of it too was if you paid the rental fee, I could go over there and throw an Izzy Star Super Bash show just because I paid for it, and I can put a show together, and give people who don't get exposure on other shows maybe a chance to start doing other shows, maybe in a different gimmick, just can try out stuff. Or it was cool. And then the RWA was like the show that you wanted to try to get on, though, even if it was just like an opening match, because everything else like tiered down from that,
Mm-hmm.
But there was a lot of stuff that people said we couldn't do over there, that a lot of doubts for that place because of another warehouse kind of deal. But we had a place that didn't leak. We had a place that had bathrooms. We had a place that we could run 4 or 5 shows in 1 week if we wanted to, and it was great. And the people, like I said, it's there's just like everywhere else. There's people who are closer than others, but there's from nothing of I've experienced, there's no personal life drama most of the time that isn't among people in wrestling. If I went to a locker room and say A, B, and C didn't like me, they'd still get up, they'd still shake my hand, and hey, hey, how you doing? Izzy, hey, how you doing, Izzy? They'd still do that respectfully. They don't, but the personal stuff stays at the door because we're all there to wrestle. uh, and it was just once you got into RWA, it was just a whole new universe opened up to you. I've become really close with more people in wrestling than I was, a couple of years ago. Because we saw each other in other shows, or we hung out, or we really like each other's energy or whatever. You just get close, and it's like a super family. It's not just a family. It's like, because it's super easy and everyone's super supportive of everybody. It's like that's the first priority, and then wrestling. And then you had mentioned MAW. Now you're confused on what it was supposed to happen, or like, is that what I'm trying to answer? More or less.
MAW, I was to understand, was kind of gone to the wayside, and something else was taking its place. And I want to say
Yep.
it was like UAW or UFW or something like that.
RUW.
RUW.
Yep.
Uh,
And
what was that?
so at the time, MAW was run by another person, um, and he was on his way out, but it was talked about originally, between myself and the owner, about transition of ownership from him to me of the company. So my vision for it was to start, like a rebrand, a whole different thing. Because I was in MAW since day one, and I accomplished a lot there. Like, I won my first belts and championships, and I made super connections with people, and I got to try out things and wrestle people I never would dream of. I got to wrestle Robbie E. Like, how cool is that, bro? Like, bro, how cool is that? But stuff like that, I got to wrestle in a cage, and there's some people on this circuit that they've done that 10 times. I've wrestled 20 cage matches. I've only wrestled one, and I'm sorry, I've wrestled two, and they both were just like, that would be good. If I just got the one, I would have been happy. I got to do things I wouldn't get to do where I stand with wrestling.
Okay.
But RWA and MEW, they're inviting, and a lot of people, same thing. They worked one show, they worked another show.
Mm-hmm.
So the transition was going to be, that was going to be Revel Underground Wrestling, and the catch was, we are wrestling, are you? And then there's going to break off into the letters. But that was going to be a whole new brand. I had some storylines in line. I was gonna primarily wrestle in RWA and be strictly behind the scenes for RUW, so I could get a feel for that aspect of it. And as far as the shows went on, we did our best to get things rolling. It started to roll, but then was then we got hit with the rent thing, and then everything was okay. Well, then COVID happened, and everything just got stretched out. So, given if we find a space primarily soon, eventually I could maybe resurrect it and give it a fair try, at least. Because the worst thing that can happen is they wrestle in front of the people that they brought, like their girlfriend or their boyfriend or whoever, and you wrestle for three people, but you got to wrestle for three people. You still got to wrestle, and that's the kind of home I want to create. Is like, this is for fun, it's for you to wrestle in the sense of enjoyment, just because you
and
can.
like you said, you were able to experiment and stuff. Maybe wrestle people that were on a circuit that you didn't get to wrestle previously. That
Right.
maybe you've seen within the chop shop or other places, and you get to experiment with maybe a move set, gimmick,
Right.
promos. All of it that kind of brings it to a tail. So I dig that kind of environment, because not
Essentially,
everybody has a setting for that.
I was trying to build it up so it would be the NXT or Velocity or Heat of RWA.
Okay.
And that was the vision that was the goal I was going to try to achieve with it. So that I believe that it could be done. I have to just see. First, we have to find a destination before we can start our journey. So
Right.
that's where we're at. But that was the vision, and
Okay.
hopefully it can be revisited.
How many shows did you have, if you don't mind me asking?
I want to say we had 2 or 3. I want to say for
Okay.
sure 2. I'm not sure if there was a third one, but
Okay.
because around March is when things shut down over there, because we did February was Sub Zero. April, no, I'm sorry. February was Cupid's Chokehold. January was Sub Zero, and then I can't remember if we did March or not. But so 2 or 3 shows for sure.
That was when shit really hit the fan. Was
Yeah,
March, boy.
yeah. So then all the shows got canceled that were booked and stuff. So everything kind of died down because we all thought, oh, it was going to be a couple weeks, and then it turned into a year and a half. So time flies.
Um. Now, if I'm not mistaken, were you also part of another promotion that was running out of the XWA Center, called Nova Promotions? Weren't you part of that promotion as well?
So oddly enough, I've never wrestled for them,
Oh,
but
wow.
but
Okay.
I I was I was supposed to um, back in May.
Okay.
Yeah, but then I had car trouble, so I unfortunately couldn't make the show.
Of
But
course.
yeah, I felt, and it was so. Let me tell you, it felt. I was so annoyed because like everything was going wrong the day before, so I was like, all right, just get to the show. Everything's gonna be fine. Like before, I couldn't find some of my gear. I couldn't find my bag. Like I could. Oh my god, it was terrible. So then like I pack everything up. I'm like, all right, cool, cool. All right. I wake up that morning. I had my coffee. Was ready to go, and then fucking car disintegrates. And I'm like, damn it all. Like, why couldn't this happen yesterday? I could have fixed it. Damn it. But unfortunately, I didn't get to work for them. But I'm hoping because they're not doing a show in July, so I'm hoping uh, August. I don't know their next show, but I'm going to try to see and reach out again to see what happens.
And not only that, though, they've expanded this
Yeah.
past year because they have. I know I'm pointing over there and you can't fucking see it, but I got on on Roku TV. They actually have a channel called New Vision.
Yep.
And Nova Promotions been doing, I want to say it's Thursday evening shows
Yep.
on there about, I want to say it's a match or two or something like that that they showcase on Roku TV. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I was supposed to be in the bracket matches. I was supposed to have Tony Clash, and I
Okay.
were supposed to do it again, but fate has had other plans again, Tony. But it's okay, bro. We'll get our 3 on. Don't you worry.
um, are you looking to get busy, or
Yes.
what's going on with your career right now? Because again, I've only seen you in the Rhode Island area. I don't know much about what you've done previously, what you want to do in the future. So let's do this. What are you looking to do in the future? Are there promotions in your sites that maybe you're reaching out to or want to or going to? Or is there any promotions been reaching out to Izzy? What's going on right now?
So right now, I'm kind of just I'm working on me this whole time. So I'm just trying to get back because once things kind of opened up again, I was like, all right, I have to start, prepping myself to do this again, and so I had to get mentally ready. So I think the best thing is to do what you know first. So I'm gonna just start some small little shows here and there, maybe some like private shows, uh, stuff like that. I
Okay.
know RWA is coming back soon, so that's obviously something I'm gonna you know work to get on and stuff like that. So just start where I know, and then hopefully I can branch out. But I'd love to go back to. I've never left any company on bad terms, so
Okay.
I'd love to wrestle anywhere really. But like again, I could wrestle 100 matches in RWA in a month, and it'd feel better to me. This is my thing. My homeland. But from from I went through all the stages in wrestling. When I first got involved with it, because I'm still a fan. I still collect wrestling stuff, and as you can see, I don't know if you can see my vintage CM
I
Punk comic poster from the magazine. Um, But yeah, I went to shows that were around here. They used to be Top Rope Promotions used to run out of a Price Right in New Bedford, Massachusetts, in the the back area there. I came to a show to go watch there a bunch of times, and one day they're doing an outdoor show, and I asked, do you guys need any help? And I set up chairs for the first time,
Nice.
and then I asked when the next show was, and I became a part of the ring crew and started doing ring stuff, this and that. Started doing like the trainings they did on like the Monday nights, because usually the shows were like on Saturday. Um, but I went through every stage of it, so I have appreciation for it. So because I wasn't somebody who just, no offense to people who do, who just go right to wrestling. Okay, I want to be a wrestler, so I'm gonna go to just the trainings, and but to understand it better, you got to fill in every gap of it. It's you understand how dealing with a wrestling crowd when when you have to be security, when you're masked in a battle royal and no one knows who you are, you're just a blank canvas. You know what I mean? That's what I was. I was literally like, I had no money for gear, so I just had these black boots, these black kick pads, black knee pads, a black singlet, a black long sleeve Under Armour shirt, and then a black mask with no mouth and a gold outline around the eyes, like a hawk, right? And so it's like a black jumpsuit, and I got my ass lit up, man. I was thrown in every corner. I was chopped by every person. I got tossed. I still remember it was like the only show like my grandfather got to go see me do, and I remember getting tossed out of the ring, and I just like locked eyes with him as I'm midair, and he doesn't know it's me, and I hit the ground so freaking hard. I roll into the barricade, and then I'm getting pulled to the back. My chest was on fire, straight bleeding out the chest, dude. I looked like a hologram. Like all the handprints were in different directions. Oh,
Oh my
dude.
god.
Oh, so just from that to where I am now, like I'm happy, man. It's one of those things.
Please tell us you had a name for that character. I don't care if it was for 5 minutes or not. Please tell me you had a name for that.
I've had a lot of characters that people don't know about. Um,
Give
before I
them
just
all to us. Throw them up all to us right
okay,
now.
let me see what I can remember. All right, so I want to say it's like early 2000s, and that was the first match I ever had, that Rumble in that black suit, and I didn't have a name because I was nobody. But then that's when I learned the term bird in wrestling. So I used to just call that was the bird. So that was being the bird, and that
Okay.
I did that match. I did that gimmick twice because I just get my ass kicked because I was just the bird. That was like my whole purpose, was just to get beat up. And I was like, this is stupid. I'm not doing this anymore.
Get this
and
freaking
then
mask off.
and then I wanted to maybe do like a heritage thing. So I had gear for it, and I did it maybe once or twice. Oh wait, before that one, I had a small one too. Another 2 or 3 match one. I had Matt Surge was a name. Uh, Surge. Matt was the first name I thought of for a first name. It could have been changed later, but Surge, I wanted to be like a lieutenant, like have a
Okay.
camouflage vest with the things ripped off, right? Kind of like a GI Joe brought to life kind of dude, Um, and Surge was the name of the electric gym leader in Pokemon. It was Sergeant Surge. So I was gonna be Matt Surge because of Pokemon. I was like, hell yeah. That lasted for a couple days, and then I never actually got to work it. I had a small idea one, which he was going to be called Sky High, with CKY was going to be how I spelt Sky. But then that's when I learned about how even your name relates to your character. That's when I learned that, because well, are you going to do a lot of high flying stuff? And I was like, oh no, why would you call yourself Sky High if you're not going to go sky high? So that's when I learned about that. And then so everything just had like a thing. And then I settled on trying to do a heritage thing, which I never got to do. I'm half Puerto Rican, so I wanted to maybe do something like that. And his name was going to be just Loco, just LO with a hyphen CO, like that was first and last name. And it only made it to like video game level. Like I made it in a game with the music, and it was like, all right, this is cool. And I never got to use it. But but then I started like really. I maybe didn't wrestle for like a year in between that, and then I started doing trainings, this and that, and then I started Izzy Star. I was like, why don't I just be myself, but like change it up a little bit, like because this is where you can. So Izzy Star was born. I had made my own gear. I tie dyed all my clothes that I had, and yeah, I wrestled with. I used to have face paint. It was a weird time, man. Um, like weirder than it is now. But
I was gonna say,
like it's like worse than like a flashback. You know what I mean? It's like, oh my god, I see pictures of it. I'm like, what were you thinking? I watch matches of myself. I'm like, who the hell are you? Like, why are you doing that? I'm yelling at myself. It's terrible. Oh man.
and you were just known as Izzy Star at that point.
Is to start. And then at the place I was, they didn't have a lot of heel characters, so I invented a masked heel character, and his name was Plague. And I used to come out with my then girlfriend. I used to like have a fog machine. I crawl out from under the ring, under the like the curtain. Instead of like going through the curtain, I come through the side panel. But she would like I'd be on all fours crawling out, and she'd be on my back. I used to wrestle in like a red kilt and like red face paint on, and
Wow.
there was a lot of people who not people, but there was a lot of fans who really didn't. Oh, they're not the same person. And then we actually did a match with my late great buddy AJ, where we did Plague versus Izzy Star, just to like kill the rumor, and it went over well. You know, it's still one of those core matches that you hold on to. You know.
Yeah.
Uh, and then it developed into more and just more and more me. And then eventually, I only changed it once after that. I wrestle under the name Nova for a little bit, and because in real life, when a star dies in the universe, it becomes a supernova. So Izzy Star died, and Nova was born, and he just became the anti-Izzy Star. And sometimes he creeps up on me, but I still think I have him under control. As long as we don't run out of this, I think we'll be fine. But he's just the dark side, the dark energy of me, and he's my opposite, my mirror, you know, and it's frightening sometimes, but keep him under wraps.
Did Plague uh, kill Izzy Star to become the supernova, if you will?
No, this was there was a show that was put on by RICW and myself. It was called Dropkicks and Drumsticks, and it was a half wrestling show, half rock show, where in between matches, live bands would play,
Nice.
including my band. And then so I had won my first title ever that night. It was the Inner City Championship, and a part of the storyline was I had to cut my hair and shave my beard and have a more adult look, and that's what it started as. It started as what's complete opposite of me, corruptions, this and that. So I used to come out in a suit. I used to come out all like with a with like these really thick sideburns and like a tank top on, like tucked into my dress pants. Like, I had dress shoes on. Oh man. But then I unlocked something in my brain, and the real Nova, just like the real Izzy had come out, the real Nova came out, and at the time he almost destroyed RICW
Oh.
to the point of they couldn't recover. But Jamie Tucker, thanks to him and his Power Ranger powers, he helped control Nova, and he cut it down real fast.
Wow.
But I hope he never returns personally, because it's just a side of me that I'm not proud of, and I don't want to have that stigma,
Right. Yeah, because of what you bring to the table now, that doesn't sound very good,
Right. So I'm just trying to, I don't talk about him much, but I had to can't, this is a one-on-one. I trust you, so I feel like it can open up a little bit. But that's just somebody that hopefully we can control this time, not just me.
Oh, right. No, and I appreciate the control because I don't think I really want to meet that guy, especially what I do at the shows. I think he wouldn't like me very much at all.
No, no.
That's for sure. um, we've talked about your stretch of identity, gimmicks, if you will, throughout your career. From where the I'm just going to call him the Bird. When the Bird started, uh, what
Just
are
the
we
bird.
talking? What are we talking for a stretch in a timeline? When was the Bird to where we are now with Izzy, the one and only Izzy Star?
I want to say early 2000s was the bird, and then was the finding my identity, learning about character work and development and stuff, and then took that break. And then when I came back as Izzy Star. That was like 2009, 10 era. And then, so 11 years. So 11 years
Oh.
I've gotten to be myself, and the more comfortable I feel with wrestling, the more myself I get to be.
Mhm.
And it's why I said earlier, it's like more of an 80-20, where the 20 is for the fact of you have to still remember how to wrestle, Izzy. You can't just go out and have a good time. It's like, oh, okay, gotcha. And then like I hold his hand and we walk out, you know. Meanwhile, I'm just like, all right, I'm just happy to be here, everybody. Who needs a hug? Like,
What's
that's te-
happening?
oh, I have to fight now? Okay, that's why. Why do you think I bring out Tammy, my tambourine? We hang out, we chill, we vibe with everybody, because why we have to fight right away? You know, just ease into it. You know, just like anything else. You know.
a little, a little foreplay, if you will,
Yeah,
before.
yeah. You know, yeah. We'll get there. We'll bring you home. Don't worry. We'll you give me your finisher. We'll bring you home. Be fine.
um, Now, as a fan, and I know we've been running about an hour, and I don't want to take up too much of your time because I still have plenty to ask you that we've never even touched upon. And your music is one of them. And I'm going to ask you one of those questions before we let you go because
All right.
I want that to be part of this.
All right, man.
And plus, I think I smell dinner out there, and I'm a skinny guy. I kind of need some supplement.
That's why you
Uh,
have to have snacks always, next to you. You can never look it. You can't be too far from snacks, you know.
just whips out stuff out of the
Yeah,
willy nilly. Oh my goodness,
it's
that's
popcorn.
hilarious.
Yeah,
That's
it's from the
hilarious.
zoo. It's zoo popcorn. So it's like animal friendly popcorn. You know,
it's
it's what it is. You
that's
know,
perfect.
it's safety.
Animal friendly pop. That might even be the name of this episode. Animal friendly popcorn. I don't know.
Hey
I
man,
don't know.
see, you
We'll
got
see.
three options now. You know.
I was gonna name a couple earlier, but I didn't want to kick that horse in the ass too many times. Um, now, the music that you come out to, and I wanted to ask you this when you spoke of your music because that kicks everything off. That gets that energy really flowing. And I've been told by many of the town, probably all. I don't want to say many. I want to say all of them. It's sometimes it's a switch, but sometimes it's just that little extra adrenaline flow when that music starts up. Is that an original score from your band? Because I've been wanting to ask you that when we were talking about it earlier, and I'm glad you mentioned your music.
I wish, I wish that was my band, man. And funnily enough, we've tried to cover it, and we were gonna actually do we were gonna do something where it was for Legacy. We were in at the oh my god, oh, the ice rink arena. I can't remember what the hell it's called in Rhode Island there, but we were there, and I was involved in a gauntlet match, and I had told the booker, I was like, I have ideas for big entrance. They're like, do it. I was like, okay, cool. Like, you don't want to hear what it is? Like, no, just do it. I was like, all right, cool. So we had practiced the song, and I was like, all right, we're gonna try to play it live. But then one of my mates, he had something else he had to do. I think he had another gig with his other band that he's in. But so we couldn't do that. So at last minute, I had like a row of other hippies come out, and as I walked, they like did like a tunnel, and as I walked through
Nice.
them, they threw flowers in the air. So it was like a big pow on the Hey-Yo's. But that song is originally, well, it was originally Brian Kendrick's song from WWE when he was known as Spanky. And when I used to hear that song on there, I loved it so much. And then once WWE lost the rights to it, now it's still a copyrighted song, but they don't own it anymore. I can use it. I've heard it. It's funny too because like I'll watch there's a show called Workaholics. I don't know if you're familiar with that show. It's a Comedy
I've
Central
seen it.
show.
I've seen it.
There's an episode where I forget who it is, but there's a guy who's in the back of a cop car. He's handcuffed. He somehow gets the door open, and he starts running out of the cop car into the desert or like the street or whatever, right? And he's running, and as he's running, my song is playing, and I'm like, holy shit! I was like, that's fucking cool. Like my song's on TV. It's not even my song, and I'm like, it just relates on that level. So it's like when you think, it's like now it's you hear hey yo, you hear some people will say Razor Ramon, oh hey yo, they'll think of that. But like if you're talking local and you hear the hey yo or you hear the song, it's Izzy. If you see me, you hear that song. You know what I'm saying? Especially when I do the hey yos. So it's like it's all mingled together.
What's the name of your band, and why haven't you done something for a entrance song?
My band is called Sweet Babylon. Well, it's not really my band. It's our band.
That's our band, yes.
Yes. And but funny enough, it's this year is our 10 years together. We are a ska punk band. Ska music is like kind of beachy music you used to hear in the 90s and stuff like Sublime and like early No Doubt and stuff like that. Just very happy and fun, just like me. And that's why I relate to that music so much. And funny enough, this song, my entrance song, is also considered a ska song. So it's like, oh, it's pretty cool. So we play ska, ska punk rock, more, this and that with stuff. But we played with acts like the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones. We played with the Toasters, the Slackers, Badfish, who's like a tribute to Sublime, but the top rated tribute to Sublime. At Lupo's in Rhode Island, at Hampton Beach Casino, nice. Up in New Hampshire, like just big venues with big bands. So like, and this is our 10 years, so it's like, it's a big thing, so it's different energies in different places. My feeling for wrestling is equal to my feeling for playing music, and that's why I have fun with both. So I'm able to do both, and they don't kill each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they don't clash because
right.
I've said it at almost every single interview, and I'm sure people are sick of hearing it. Wrestling and music have so many similarities.
Right.
They correlate. You could talk how you get paid, the booker, the people you have to bring, the practice it takes.
Right.
I mean, there's so many correlations that come together
it's just
for
as hard
wrestling
as
and music.
There's just as hard, And sometimes they can hurt just as much.
That's for sure. I've been there, my man. So you guys are still active and doing gigs out there?
Yeah,
Nice.
Actually, our first show back is on July 9th in Fall River, Massachusetts at Boneheads Live. That was the place that we started playing music, like as a band for the first time 10 years ago. So it's like we're just going to go there and like, the boys are coming home kind of deal,
Nice.
So, yeah.
That's really cool.
But the reason why I don't have our song as for wrestling is because, like I said, I want to keep those two lives separate, because I respect people like Chris Jericho who can do both,
Mm-hmm.
or even the superstars who've sung their own theme song,
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. That's cool, but that's particular to them. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, this song has been on for almost solid 11 years. And this is the song people know, and they know it's Izzy Star, It's that song just never dies to me. Some people might think it's annoying or it's oh great, like your father and stuff. But they secretly love me. They're not gonna say they hate me though. They'll never say they hate me. They're like,
not at all.
Oh, that guy's whatever. He's all right. Like, yeah. Who can hate me,
My old man's gonna shoot me for all of that. Now, we've covered many a topic pertaining to the one and only Izzy Star. And like you say, it's not my band, it's our band. It's the same exact thing that I say about this show. It may have my name on it, my friend, but it's not my show. This is our show. This is the fan show, so we can learn more maybe dig a little deeper. What I like to say, pull, behind the curtain, get behind the curtain a little bit, and get to know our talent that we speak with. And I cannot thank you enough for spending this amount of time with us and just opening up, talking life, talking music, talking wrestling, talking character. I mean, we've talked so many topics. I could keep going on and on, but that would be another interview in its own right.
Well, you just let me know when, brother.
I would love to, and what I'm gonna do is probably maybe in another 6 months or so do a little reaching out. Hey, Izzy, what's good? Let's have some fun. And if you say yes, excellent. If you say, because you never know what's gonna happen. Hey, you never know what the future and wrestling brings to the fans.
But
Because
I'll always make time for you, man.
oh, thank you, thank you. I appreciate that. I do, because there have been tables have turned in my relationship with some of the talent I've met over the course, because they don't always stay said character, said gimmick.
Right.
Things change in their wrestling career. We spoke of a guy earlier, and I'm not saying he's coming to surface or will ever come to surface again, but wrestling, always a big question mark. You never know. Things could change down the road. So as long as me and Izzy Star right here, the one and only, are good, that's all I care about.
Listen, dude, Izzy will forever be Izzy, okay? There is no end.
Okay, all right. My man, so informative, and I cannot thank you enough for spending time with us. I appreciate it, my friend.
Thanks, my man.
This is Stir in the Pot with Don Kincaid and our very special guest, the one and only Izzy Star.